Hey, Dane.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why in Star Wars, the stormtroopers, when they were searching for the droids on Tatooine, used dewbacks to go find them?
You mean those giant lizard things?
Yeah, those big old iguana-looking things. I mean, those things are so slow, right?
Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, Darth Vader's known for chop, chop, do it now, and then somehow they get the slowest transportation on
Darth Vader
Tatooine.
kills admirals who fail him, right?
Right.
So how would you like to be the Empire's logistics manager who goes down to Tatooine to get the transportation for the stormtroopers? And then he has to say to the stormtroopers, I didn't get you speeder bikes. I didn't get you land speeders. I didn't get any skiffs. You know, no pod racers. I got you dewbacks, right?
And they're like, for the love of Pete, I could walk faster with one of those things.
They do basically can walk as fast as a dewback.
I know, that makes no sense. You see them and they're like, duh, 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 duh.
Yeah.
The guy's like, come on.
I know, right?
What is it, 24 hours before they even like get near the droids?
I know. I mean, I tell you what, Jabba was, an evil crook, but he was a businessman. I'm sure they could have rented some skiff time. He had like 3 big skiffs that went out to the Sarlacc pit.
No rental places back then. It was probably the guy's like brother-in-law, and he's like, dude, do me a favor and throw me a salad, give you some credits, take these dewbacks off my hands.
Okay, yeah, that'll be great. I'll get the stormtroopers right on them, right?
Yeah, they needed to show the subsequent scene where they were all killed by Darth Vader. Like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute, we're on!
Again?
Here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Dane.
And this is J.R.
And we are the Cult Lords. We're coming to you from our remote cult studio at the Wynn Resort on the Las Vegas Strip. Remember, what the Cult Lords do in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. Unless that is, we take $40 million from the Bellagio vault. Then we take that out of Vegas. Okay. So this week we will be reviewing the movie Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage and produced by the studio Legion M.
Legion M.
A stunning achievement. Dane, tell the audience how they can help us achieve.
Yes. Well, all of you who have faithfully kept up with us, please subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed with the button down below here, and also comment, because we love comments. But also, we are putting out a heartfelt plea to please spread the word and ask your friends, your relatives, your, milkman, paperboy, ask them all to subscribe to us, because we've been hovering around, 145 for the last several weeks?
We were hovering around 123, and we've now gotten to 145 in just about a week and a half by talking to some other movie reviewers in the community.
Yes.
And swapping some links, which was kind of cool, but,
It worked.
It worked, so.
But yes, we're doing Mandy.
We are doing Mandy.
We have the Blu-ray, and then this is what's special about this one, straight from your vault.
Steelbook edition.
The Steelbook edition, and you can't really see it very well, but there's steel right there, right?
Yeah.
You took it out?
You can take this out for a second.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You want to showcase what steel means?
So I have, of course, the Blu-ray, but this is called the Steelbook, and that is actually a steel book there. This has actually still never been opened because Dane and my collecting of movies, what I've learned is steelbooks are usually put out in limited editions, and half the people who buy them open them up and use them, and then
they get scratched and stuff?
They get scratched and everything, and then if you want to ever resell this, And I don't buy these for an investment, but since I already have this open to watch it, just go ahead and leave it unopened. But, you know, something that you buy for $30 now could easily be worth over $100 in just a few years.
Wow.
So there's a lot of steelbook collectors out there, and to get unopened copies of past editions, you know, they're willing to pay a couple $100s for them.
So on that note, you want to keep your steel in virgin condition.
Yes, that's why I put it in that plastic container there.
But our audience members can win this Blu-ray right here.
And yes, babyface Dane, tell us how can they win that copy?
They can win this particular copy or their own new version of this copy by putting some comments down below, and then your name will be entered in a raffle by this date up here.
He's getting it right. He's getting it right. You have a chance to win by being in a raffle. And the giveaway date is going to be March 13th.
You're going to say it on camera.
I'm going to say it on camera because we're going to put it out there.
We're still going to put it up here for
March 13th. If you comment by that date, you will be
entered in the raffle.
Entered into a raffle to win a copy of Mandy on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and even if you hate us, even you trolls will be able to get a copy of this excellent DVD.
Now, Dane, what I'd like to do right now is sit back, relax, put a Vangelis-like score on, and have a drink. Yes. What are we drinking this week?
Well, what we're drinking this week is seemed apropos for the type of movie, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire.
Fire!
So any of you folks who have attempted the famous elephant in the room Fireball cinnamon whiskey, which you usually see in shots or in other form, this was Jack Daniel's version of that. And Jack has done this with other one. They have that Tennessee Honey. This one's Tennessee Fire. But what they do is they kind of let the market mature a bit, and then they drop one right in, and it is awesome. They try to address all of the problems and complaints of the other ones, like, oh, there's a syrupy aftertaste, and it's too burny, or the cinnamon doesn't really taste very nice.
Well, let me pour this.
And so this is it.
Tell us about it.
They came out with their version, Tennessee whiskey. It tastes like, remember, like classic Red Hots?
Oh, yeah.
Remember those? That's the kind of flavor you get out of this. But they smoothed it out. It's made with their original Old No. 7 recipe, and then they obviously are adding in the cinnamon, letting it mature for a little while. Wow, those are some big pours.
Those are some, I'm a heavy hand pourer.
Oh my God. So by the end of this video, we're definitely going to be, we're going to need another bottle here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to need a second one. But, you know, if you've been disappointed by cinnamon liquors in the past, you will not be this one. It's very sippable, great cold. You can mix it with other stuff.
Well, I did notice that the bottle is cold, so you've been refrigerating this, right?
It was sitting out in the snow.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, it's well balanced. It's a great, sippable. It's a little bit of a burn, obviously, but it's not like, but there's no syrupiness.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I actually like it because I've had other, you know, Jack Daniel's flavored whiskeys like the honey, and it just tastes like artificial honey. You know what I mean? Whereas this actually tastes pretty good. This tastes very natural.
Right. Yeah, it tastes very natural. And you know what? The thing that amazes me about Jack Daniel's, I mean, it was originally created in 1886 or 89 or whatever. I defy you to go to any bar in the entire world and see if they don't have Jack Daniel's there. Yeah. Because in France, this is what everyone would order.
All right.
I mean, it's just amazing how ubiquitous this bottle is, and they've done such a great job of, they always make it square. They've changed it a little bit. And then they always use the same typeface.
And even though this is made from burnt barrels, Dane, why is it not considered a bourbon?
Because it's not from Bourbon County?
It's not from Kentucky.
Oh, not from Kentucky.
Yeah, this is
Tennessee.
So it's called a Tennessee whiskey. So,
this is probably the most popular whiskey in the entire world.
You know, it's kind of interesting.
Everywhere. You go to the top of Fuji Mountain, it's going to be there. You go to a back alley of France in the southern, farm country, it's going to be there. You
go to Dubai, where you're not supposed to drink, but you go into the tourist sections, they got Jack Daniel's there, I promise you. But what's interesting, being a sales rep in technology, I've traveled the country and gone to different companies, and I met an executive once from Jack Daniels, and he said that back in the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, everybody at their desk had bottles of Jack Daniels, and they were allowed to drink at any time they wanted to throughout the day. They had to change that though, come the 2000s, because got out of hand. Corporate responsibilities, and lawsuits kind of changed. It wasn't the good old days of being able to drink at
like Mad Men, 3 vodkas at lunchtime.
But he said everybody used to be at work at their desk drinking Jack Daniels throughout the day.
Oh my God, how could you get any work done?
I don't know.
Man, I bet they had a great time at work, like us, coming to do this.
Yes.
But so it's great. There's if you like cider too, do a shot of this and then follow it up with a nice cider. That's a great beverage on its own. But yeah, highly recommend. And like I said, cheers.
Cheers. All right.
So what are we doing in this Act 1 of Mandy Week?
We are going to talk about Legion M, because this is kind of a unique...
Who's Legion M?
I don't know. Is there any sort of sign of Legion M around here? Well, I don't know, but we actually got a chance to meet Legion M.
We did.
At C2E2. Mm-hmm. If you go to our, and insert thumbnail here, if you go to our show that we did, our C2E2 wrap-up, we went there, it was in December, right?
Yeah, it was December 14th, I think it was.
Oh, wow, you even know the date. We got a chance to walk around. That's kind of one of the Chicago Comic-Cons. And we did not expect to meet Legion M there. And we had just the night before previewed the movie Mandy on a trailer. And I said, I can't wait to watch this movie and review this. Mm-hmm. And as we're walking, suddenly what do we see? A 20-foot high poster of Nicolas Cage and Mandy. And it was the Legion M booth that we got a chance to go talk to them. We got to talk to their VP of marketing. And what was her name?
Mandy!
And she was so awesome.
Right.
And we told her, hey, we're about to review this movie. And she's like, oh, well, let me give you a couple free gifts, right?
Yeah. Which we are showcasing right now. Here is straight off the Legion M site. You can get Nicolas Cage in his 44, his favorite shirt, as everyone who's seen the movie knows, with his battle glaive.
And this is the Cheddar Goblin. And we will talk about what the Cheddar Goblin is a little bit later on.
Yeah, but that's, there's lots of other things on there. Posters, T-shirts, everything that represents, some little bits and pieces of the movie. But the nice thing about Legion M is it's done a lot of other movies too. And we talked about one previously that was one of your favorites.
Well, yeah, and we'll talk about the movies in a second, but I think we should talk about what Legion M really is, because it is a Hollywood movie studio, but it's totally different. It's not backed by millionaires or a corporation or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's backed by schmucks like us. Yes, schmucks like us.
Crowd schmucking.
It's a crowd-funded company, I should say, incorporation. Uh-huh. And what they do is they allow fans to come out and donate with certain benefits and become investors in the company and the projects.
Right. And so you get to pick the project you're interested in.
Apparently,
drop some dinero.
I did do a little bit more research, and what they simply had was they had just different rounds of funding. And they just closed out their 8th round of funding. Okay. And what they do is with this is they do as many projects as they can with each round of funding. So they've done movies, they're doing TV shows, they're doing like little shorts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you actually get shares into the company, as they do different rounds.
And so is that your shares aren't, as you just said, they're not per project. There's shares in the company. There might be multiple projects, but then you own in shares indefinitely, right? There's no expiration. It's almost like a stock ownership. But
and then they share with you like what the strike price is, how many shares are out there, in the market, just like you would, for a NASDAQ.
So it is that way. It's on NASDAQ?
No, it's not on NASDAQ. But you do have shares in the company. So if it were to ever go public,
so they're not public
you
shares,
could reap the rewards of that.
Right.
Or I'm not sure, maybe you can sell your shares back. I don't know. I didn't read all of the all the frequently asked questions. But
we should say neither one of us are lawyers.
Neither one of us are lawyers.
So
neither one of us are telling you to make any investments. I actually this week tried to go make an investment in it. And so they have
shot down in flames.
I was shot down. They said, we don't want to work with a schmuck like you. No, what happened was, is after each round, they have kind of a target goal of what they want to raise. And once they do that and they give out their shares, they close the investing until the next round of funding.
So it's very, it's very much like how Kickstarter works. You start up a campaign, you say these are different levels you can put money in. Once they run out, it's done. And then again.
And they coincidentally had 8 tiers of investment. So I tried to do tier 3, which was a $225 investment.
Oh, I thought that was the $60K.
No,
isn't that tier?
No. Let me tell you what.
Come on, you're destroying your image with your fans.
Yeah, let me tell you what a tier 3 level investor would get for $225.
Okay.
I would get my name and the end credits of the movie that they were working on. So that'd be cool at the end of the movie.
Under the schmuck section?
It would just say probably like our, investors. And it would have like about 10,000 names. You go boo, 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 boo.
Right.
And then there you would be, JR, going up,
And you'd be like, yes!
I'm on a movie credit.
This movie.
I paid $225.
This movie could not be made without my $225.
Oh, we just lost our cheddar goblin.
Cheddar goblin.
All right. But anyways, so I would get my name in the end credits. I would get what's called a 7% reward share of that.
Of the revenue?
Of the movie. Not like total company revenue, but of that
movie.
Project.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So that is, okay.
And then I would get a $30 Legion M gift card. I would get...
For a fabulous...
Yeah, for whatever
accessory
merch they have. And they got a lot of merch. And then I would get an exclusive Legion M Investors t-shirt.
Ooh.
But guess what? I go through this whole questionnaire, filling out my net worth, my social security number for tax purposes. Go through this whole thing. Bring out my credit card, key it in, thinking I'm going to be an investor, and then it says, "There's no spots available right now. We will put you on a waiting list, and we will decide if you can be an investor at a later date."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. They're being picky here.
I guess so.
So that is unfortunate. That's kind of like a little on the lame side, because to make you do all of that work and then find out you're not going to get a payoff in the end, it's like,
that's
our only complaint.
We do dating in the real world, but anyways.
You spent a lot of money on dinner, you had a great date, and then
no payoff on the end.
No payoff on the end.
All right, but listen to this. What's interesting is just in December 2021, William Shatner came on board as a board member for Legion M, and he's there now to try to help grow the company.
He's going to be like, I want to talk about Mandy. And what other movies can we bring on board?
So now that's a good point. And let's talk about some of these movies that they've already put out and what they have in the pipeline right now.
I mean, because it's great. It's a great concept. And we were kind of talking about this, but I'm going to go really quick. Most of the time, little guys, i.e. you and me, can't put any money into movies, other than our ticket price.
Right.
So it is a great way for the little guy to get involved in the movie creation process. You now feel like you're part of the group and everything. Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But you want to be part of the group. And so we'll definitely be talking about this in the future, especially with new projects, because we're going to keep up with these guys.
Oh, we're going to keep up. And, my application is in. So when they go for the 9th round of funding, hopefully they take my 9th
Please,
round of
Legion M, take JR.
Take me in. You know, I've got all kinds of great ideas for them.
Yeah, they're like,
I got all kinds of great ideas that. No.
They're like, where's the delete button? There's next to the
he's got ideas.
Mr. J.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna. You know what? They've made some great movies, and I'm sure they're gonna have some great projects upcoming. So I think we're gonna be hearing more about them. And to your point about the little guys, we talked about how Keanu Reeves has started his own comic book company. Well, not a company, his own comic line.
Right.
Berserker.
With Boom.
Yeah, with Boom. So, but they did that off of a crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah, Kickstarter.
And when I heard that, my first reaction is, why does Keanu Reeves need to go raise a few $1 million to start a comic? Because he could easily afford to fund this.
Yeah.
But then I thought about this. This is a chance to get fan involvement. Mm-hmm. And people, like you said, the little guys who want to be a part of something, want to say, hey man, I helped create this with my contribution, and you know, I'll continue to do that.
Right.
And
I'll get some exclusive merch out of the process.
Get some exclusive merch. You know, maybe, you know, as the funding continues to grow and you continue to fund some more, maybe there's some added benefits. Maybe you can win a lottery to go to the red carpet.
Right.
You know?
Well, I think in this particular, you have great valid points. I think in this particular case, there's some criticism about this, is that Boom Studios is one of the, you know, kind of, like, you got Marvel and DC, and then the other one is Image, and what's the one that Kirkland is
Image, Dark Horse. Oh,
Invincible.
Image is the one that...
that's Image, right? Yeah. So Boom is kind of the newer kid on the block, but they're making some great headway with a lot of their stuff, like my personal favorite right now, which we don't have any up here, but Berserker by Keanu Reeves was he's talking about. But the thing that people were somewhat giving him criticism about is this company's already got a crap load of money.
Right.
There was no reason to go to a Kickstarter command other than great promotional material and getting a understanding of, will the fans want this comic book made?
Right.
Because it is pretty much Keanu Reeves. He's part of the writing team. He said he's going to be doing the movie or whatever that comes out. He'll be involved. He does some of the storyline. He's obviously not drawing it. Well, but, you know, Boom is fronting all the back-end distribution, warehouse, creation, printing, and all that. And his name's out there. So they're probably like, let's see what happens.
But now, if you were an investor in Berserker, you probably, at whatever tier, you probably got some sort of recognition. You probably got a limited edition variant of the comic. That just goes to those people.
Believe me, I was very unhappy to learn about that because I missed it by like 2 months before I noticed it, and then I'm like, darn it.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's probably like signed hardcover copies, if I remember. But yeah, still great. And they're not released yet because they haven't hit the market.
Yeah.
So they're still. Those hardcover copies are not out. And I think some of them, like, you'll get a T-shirt and other things too, but or poster.
You always got to get a T-shirt.
But you know, just like if anyone's never done Kickstarter before, there's different levels, and if you put this much money, you get this. This much money, you get this. And I'm assuming that it sounds like what you were saying with Legion M. It's a similar layout.
Oh right?
You put this much money, you get this. This much.
Yeah,
money,
I can't
you get
remember.
That.
They actually have a different company, and I could probably go look real quick, that does the actual fundraising for them.
Yeah.
And that company does like kind of fundraising Kickstarter type stuff for other companies too, because then I started getting emailed by them hey, since you did this with Legion M, you might be interested in doing this. It's called Start Engine. Welcome to Start Engine. So I got,
invited to join this.
I got invited to invest in a Michael Jordan rookie card, like from them.
A rookie card?
Yeah, like a rookie trading card, and so...
Like, you mean a brand new creation? Or,
no,
you would all buy a piece of it together?
You would all buy a piece of one card, which I don't get that concept, because if I invest in something, I want something tangible. Like, I still don't understand the NFT market.
I was about to say, aren't you an NFT person?
I've got a bunch of NBA NFTs, and they sit around, and I still don't understand why I invested couple $100 in these things, but because it was like the kind of the wave of the future last year, and I was like, I'll buy a few. And
it's like Bitcoin.
Yeah, am I getting in on Bitcoin? When it started, I don't know.
You got a moment. It's got a moment. You're basically buying a small official video transaction of.
Yeah, you own a part of like a video that exists online,
which is copyrighted.
Which copyrighted.
No one else should be able to play that video.
Except they have disclaimers like the NBA can use it, ESPN can use it, you know what I mean? But I still don't understand like this value of this thing, and like people actually spent like, $50,000 on a LeBron James, serial number 23 out of 1,000, NFT, and I'm like, I don't understand.
It's what people want to value. It's like a comic book. I mean,
But the comic book, you still have something tangible in your hands.
Yes, that's true. Well, it's
to have something virtual online, I don't get it.
Yeah. No, I
Unless
agree.
You own the rights to that, but
I agree. I mean, and then if I was if you had LeBron James, if I was LeBron James, you're like, what? They own 30 seconds of my life?
No. The players are all about this because
because
they get a cut of all the NFT. You know what I mean? And so...
Well, sorry, I'm going to put this into the hype with no payoff category.
I'm kind of wondering that too. But I don't think that's the same way with
sports fans that can't not be involved.
Yeah. But I don't think that's the same thing with Legion M. I think
No, Legion M, because they're actually making money, projects that are going to have people come in and pay for a product.
Right.
In this particular case, what you're talking about, there's no product being paid for.
Yeah.
You can't go and replay that and make money off it, right?
No.
So that's the BS about the whole thing.
It is. And people try to say, well, it's like a virtual trading card. I'm like, no, because you know what? If I own a LeBron James rookie card in my hand, 30 other people don't own a part of that card.
Right, and they don't have the picture of it that they can replay it over and over again.
Resell it for whatever I want to resell it for, and nobody, I don't know. I don't get it. But with Legion M, we were talking about some of the movies they did. Mm-hmm. So they've done a movie called Calculated, and we'll put some quick pics of their movie posters
Calculated,
up.
Who's
Calculated? I did not write that down.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just got them listed, but
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
But no, because there's going to be too many for it.
Oh.
So we'll put like a quick picture, and we'll put the Legion M link where if you want to go look at what these movies are. So they did Calculated. They did The Book. They did The Gray Area. I'm not going to go look up The Book. The Girl with No Name. The Field Guide to Evil. Now the one I saw and loved, Tolkien, and that was about the history of J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, you said that was a top movie. It did an amazing job in the box office.
No, it did a bad job at the box office, but I saw it in 2021. It was one of my top movies of the year, even though it came out in like 2019. They did a movie called Bad Samaritan. Now, they did a movie called Colossal, and I showed you the clip of this one because I own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was.
It's Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis. And Anne Hathaway, there's a kaiju monster across the world, tearing down a city, and she realizes she has the ability to control
it. So it's a cool concept. Yeah.
So that was Colossal. There's one called Memory: The Origins of Alien. And it looks like it's a documentary on the movie Alien.
Oh.
Yeah, by Ridley Scott. So,
and he loves his millenniums.
Oh, yes.
Ridley and millenniums.
There is Mandy, which is what we are reviewing this week.
Sometime.
Jay and Silent Bob's reboot. So, once again, I was surprised there that they went to a crowdfunding source to do their reboot. But they did. Save Yourselves. Then they have a movie called Arch Enemy, and this is the one I told you I do have on Blu-ray. And I think it's
Who was in this one?
animated, but
I think you showed me a piece of it.
Yeah, I did. It's the guy who's married to Sofia Vergara.
Oh,
Joe Manganiello.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. from
from Grinder
from Sabotage.
He was a guest pourer of the beverage that day, which was, if I remember correctly, a tequila. No, a mezcal.
Yes. And then the last one that they've done is I'm Your Man. And that's not about a Wham song.
So a lot of these movies probably would not get made in the regular studio system, you know?
Yeah, I would think like a Tolkien could get made. I would think Jay and Silent Bob would get remade.
I mean, and they're not, these are Nicolas Cage's and Mandy. We'll get to, obviously. But then, what's his name? William Holt? Who's the lead character in the Tolkien?
Oh, Nicholas
Holt?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's shown up in a lot of movies. He's starred in some, but he's been in like Mad Max, Road Warrior.
And Lily Collins is in it.
Yeah, and Lily Collins, who's in Emily in Paris right now, Phil's daughter.
Yeah.
But, it's a great option for us, people like us, to get involved in movies, and then also get movies made that would typically not, but they might be more art house projects, or they might be just, like a weird kaiju
tearing
Japanese,
down But the movie they have in production right now, which closed out round 8, is a movie called The Man in the White Van. So...
And it's not anything to do with Silence of the Lambs?
It sounds ominous when you hear that, right?
The Man in the White Van.
They also have 8 TV shows in development. Yeah, and the TV shows, the TV series that they have in development, some of them look kind of interesting. A couple of them look animated, like animated series, and then others look like, live scripted series, but look pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, hey, we've said this before. I mean, we are in the golden age of TV watching. I mean, literally, you could sit all day long, 365 days a year, and constantly find something that you are interested in watching.
With all the streaming services.
And all these Korean shows now.
And then the Koreans are showing up.
Man, what's up? The Korean shows are taking over, and they've been all really good.
And they've been really good. We
Parasite. The Kingdom.
Yeah.
There's another one I just started watching. It's a space one. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, about something going to the moon.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the characters from the Kingdom.
Well, and it's a lot of the characters from
Squid Game?
Squid Games.
Yeah. So just like in Britain, if you guys have watched a lot of British TV movies, you'll notice the same kind of almost troupe of actors show up in a lot of British movies, and they're doing the same thing in Korea. It must be like a large troupe, and they all jump in and out of different movie roles. Yeah. So you see the same person like repeating over and over again.
Yeah. But it's not like you don't see Nick Cage in a lot of roles. But
he is one of the rare guys. I mean, he does a crap load of movies.
Well, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
But
we'll be talking about that in Act 2. Yeah. Stay tuned for Act 2 to hear more about Nick Cage and his movies, top 8 movies of all time. But yeah.
So that is, in a nutshell, what Legion M is. And they are, the production studio for Mandy, which is what we are reviewing this week. Can't wait to share our thoughts on Mandy. And, I think it's a different kind of, a way of getting movies made, and it might be the wave of the future.
Different paradigm, They're finally got the like I said, the little guy involved in big production studio making, and it would be great if Legion M ever did something where they chaired their own convention.
Yeah.
And then actually invited fans to come in and kind of like meet Nicolas Cage or Nicholas Holt or whatever the movie was.
Right.
And so you as an owner get exclusive access to come in and meet these guys versus a Comic-Con where there's like 50,000 people or whatever.
Well, I tell you what, you see Legion M, you've been doing very well, but once you get us on board, sky's the limit. We got all kinds of ideas.
Get ready for the Cult Lords bump.
Yes. Whoa.
Wonder Twin Powers, activate. Form of a Legion M ice pick.
Form of a cheddar goblin. So yeah. I mean, once
ice glaive.
Once our 150 subscribers see this,
we're going for 1,000.
Please. Maybe we can get a Legion M bump.
That would be nice.
But
Legion M fans.
All right. So that's Legion M, and we are looking forward to, first of all, being a part of Legion M on the next round of investments. My credit card, I guess, is now on file, and just waiting to be charged. Actually, I should see if it was already charged. But anyways, we're gonna watch or review Mandy, and there's other movies that we want to watch from Legion M. So we'll be probably reviewing some of those in the very near future.
Yep. So.
All right. Well, stay tuned for Act 2. It'll be here in a couple days, and we will be talking about this man.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
With his ice glaive. I guess
Star.
I'm form of an ice glaive. It's
Yes.
right here.
Yeah.
So, Legion M, thank you very much again for providing us with this little bits and pieces merch that we can talk about. And I got to keep my dog's hands off of this because Nicholas and the Cheddar Goblin seem to be very tasty in his eyes.
He better not get a hold of them. He better not get a hold
because Nicholas would be missing his head in like about 5 minutes.
Yes.
But definitely appreciate it. Please subscribe, everybody. We welcome comments. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for Act 2, where we're going to go over Nicolas Cage's top 8 movies of all time, and then we're going to be doing the movie review. So lots of good discussions spread over the next few weeks.
Few days.
2 days.
All right.
Weeks.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. I'm going to need a bigger pour.